What is going on, guys? It is Rhammondgames here, and welcome back to another edition of the RHG podcast. This is going to be our second episode in the podcast series that I am running now on my channel. And I think I've actually discovered the format that I want to do for this. What I'm thinking about doing here with these podcasts are always doing a topic talking about GFuel, because GFuel is a main focus on our channel. So try to find something every week to talk about with GFuel. We're going to bring a gaming element every week into it, whether it's gaming news, something that I want to talk about with gaming, like today's, for instance, talking about Fortnite and stuff like that today. And then also, finally, for one of the topics every week, I want to talk about something that has to do with my life, whether it's news in my life or giving you guys a little bit of a backstory to my life or a story time thing. I think that would be like a really good layout to the podcast. So without further ado, the topics that we're actually going to be talking about today is we're going to be kicking off the podcast with a story time that I have to tell you guys about. This was actually a video that's up on my channel. It's actually gone now. But I wanted to retell the story because it is a very interesting story. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about the craziest vacation that I've ever been on that it was basically like a big roller coaster kind of. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about GFuel once again, just kind of more so about the GFuel community this time. I want to focus in on that. And then finally, for our third topic, I want to talk about why I believe that Fortnite is honestly as popular as it is. So buckle up, get ready for this ride. I'm super excited to be here for another episode of the podcast, and I hope that you guys really do enjoy it. Alrighty, so as I said in the intro, we're going to get started with this podcast with a little bit of a story time about the craziest vacation I ever had. Now, a little bit of backstory to the whole story is where I live, obviously we don't have beach or anything like that, and one of my favorite places to visit every single year is a beach. I love going to the beach. I love chilling in the sand, swimming in the pools and stuff like that. Just getting out of where I live. Like even in the winter, we go to this location during the winter as well. And the location that I'm talking about is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you guys have never been there, it's such a big tourist destination, and I've been going there my whole life. It's kind of been my family vacation spot from growing up and stuff like that. It's basically the spot that I've been to my entire life for vacations. And I thought that bringing up vacations, this is an appropriate time to do that because, summer's starting to kick in and people are going to start going on their summer vacations and stuff like that. So I thought, what better time to bring you guys this story time element of this. So basically this takes place in, I believe, June. Off the top of my head, it might have been I believe it was June 2014 that all this went down. And it honestly to this day is definitely my craziest vacation I've ever been on. So obviously it just starts off as a typical vacation, packing up the car, planning, going down there and stuff like that. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my friend Luke. We all piled in the car. It was about a 12-hour drive from where we were at, and me and my family always drive pretty much everywhere that we go on vacation. So, it obviously felt like a normal vacation. We scheduled it to be at our original hotel, our kind of like not our original family hotel, but the hotel that we went to a lot when I was a kid and stuff like that. So I was super excited. It had been X amount of years since I've been there. It was a ton. It was like pretty much a very long time. I think the span was like 2006 to obviously 2014 that I had not been at that hotel. And keep in mind, we went to that hotel almost every year before that. So being able to go back to that hotel, I felt like it was very special to me to bring back some memories and stuff like that for me and my parents. And Luke had not been to Myrtle Beach in forever either, so just getting that whole experience again was going to be a lot of fun. I was super excited to get there to the hotel and stuff like that. And we obviously had the long 12-hour car drive, typical drive. You hit traffic, you hit weather, whatever. But that's not the point that I want to talk about. The point that I want to talk about is once we got there. So, I feel like locations could do a better job at this, especially what happened with us. So we show up at our hotel. And to really explain the hotel the best that I can, the hotel has 3 different towers, Tower 1, 2, and 3. That's what they called it. It was really just, you guys have all seen high-rise hotels. It was just 3 basically of those. So we had never stayed in Tower 1. we always stayed in Tower 2 or 3, and that's exactly what we thought was going to happen again this time. And for some reason, they threw us in Tower 1, and we were all very confused about what was going on. We obviously knew that there was a change of management that happened there just recently, but we didn't know is that there was a ton of construction going on, and you guys will see that as a theme throughout this whole story time. Was there was a ton of construction happening there. We did know that there was a water park being built. According to us, we were informed that it was already done. When we checked in at the front desk, they said, yeah, it's done, it's ready to go, you guys can go use it or whatever. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. A really fun vacation, a new water park just went in at the hotel. It's going to be great. And then we get up to the room. So this is kind of where everything went south, or I guess more so started to go south. So get into the room. Very first thing that I think everybody does when they're at the beach, they run to the balcony to check out the view, to check out, the beach. You just sat in a car for 12 hours. You want to run out on the balcony and see what's going on. So we did just that. And over to the right of us was construction. And literally the construction closed off an entire pool from being open. Actually, I believe it was 2 entire pools from being open, if I'm not mistaken. And literally it was the pools, and the water park wasn't even done. Like, there was one single piece of a water slide on. Like, if you went on it, like, you just fly out the end of it. So obviously they lied to us about it being done, and obviously that hurt my parents, and like they were furious about it and stuff like that. So then the decision came down to whether we were going to stay at the hotel or not. And for me, I still, being as how old I was like, I want to stay here. There's so many good memories that we have here. There's no reason to leave this spot and stuff like that. So we ended up staying. Our trip was, I believe, like 10-day trip or something like that. So we ended up staying in the same hotel. We got the stuff up to the room, whatever. My parents went out to the grocery to get stuff, and me and my friend went swimming. And I was really excited about that trip as well, because that was back when I vlogged. And actually, you guys can go check out all of this stuff that I'm talking about on my vlog. I would definitely link that down in the description below if you guys do want to go see how this vacation all played out in real time. But I got a GoPro to vlog with, and like that was my first time vlogging underwater and stuff. It was so much fun, honestly. It was awesome. So then the next problem was the next day, really, we found out that the pool was still being heated. Like, honestly, by that point in June, the pool shouldn't be heated. Like, you could go out into the ocean, and the ocean would feel better than the pool. So that's what we did most of the time. We went out to the ocean to swim versus the pool. And also, something else that I forgot to mention from day one was elevators at this place were really bad. And they had a history for being bad. Even like when we originally started staying there, elevators would stop working from time to time. But we actually got stuck in one of the elevators on the very first day. So that was something to note. But so moving back on to day 2, like I said, the pool was just extremely hot. Me and my friend always found ourselves either going out to the ocean or just chilling in the lazy river. One thing that they did really do good that year, I guess more so than other years of me being there, was they actually had a DJ by the pool that was playing music and stuff like that. So as you're swimming and chilling in the lazy river and stuff like that, you've got some live music going on. Not really live music, but you have a DJ that's playing music. And that was awesome. So we continued doing that and stuff like that. He would take suggestions. We suggested stuff. A lot of people suggested stuff. That piece of it was a lot of fun, being in the lazy river. We ended up spending most of our time that vacation in the lazy river, which is crazy to even say. But this hotel had the biggest lazy river in Myrtle Beach, so it was really cool. It was indoor/outdoor, so you get a little bit of both while you're there. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun doing that. Which honestly, I know that you guys are probably thinking, wow, what's the crazy about this? Don't worry, we're getting there. It's going to pick up here in just a little bit with the craziness. But the lazy river is a very important key thing that you guys know, that we were in there most of the vacation. The next crazy thing that really happened is before we went up to eat lunch at the hotel room, we were out in the ocean swimming. On the way in, we were kind of like looking down at our feet, and like if you've ever been to an ocean, you know that there's a point where you can see your feet and then not see your feet from the sand being picked up by the waves and stuff like that. So we got to the point where we could actually see our feet, and as we're looking down, my friend literally almost stepped on, I don't want to say a baby shark, but it was a shark, and he almost stepped on it. So obviously that scared him from going back out into the ocean the rest of the day, and honestly it probably made me a little bit nervous too, but oh well, he didn't step on it, he didn't get hurt or anything, and that was that. Those were the first 2 days, and really the only big major thing that happened after that was we got up to the hotel room and we really wanted some pizza. And I remember very clearly my dad making a point like, oh, you can't screw up pizza, like we could order it from anywhere. So we had somebody, you know, if you've ever been to a beach or a resort or something like that, you always have the companies that walk around the hotel and slip little pamphlets under people's doors. So that happened with us. And it was for this place called Brooklyn Pizza. I honestly don't even know if the place is still open in Myrtle Beach today. I really don't even know if it was a place. For all we know, it could have just been somebody making pizzas at their house and calling it Brooklyn Pizza and selling it to people. So, but we decided to order from them, and we ended up getting it. And no joke, to this day, it is still the most disgusting pizza I have ever had. Like, my dad has never since then said there's no way to screw up pizza. So we get this pizza. First of all, very thin crust, which is fine. A lot of people do like a thin crust pizza. But this was like cardboard. Like, that's what it tasted like. It was so bland tasting. It was so it was such a taste of cardboard. And then you get to the toppings, and I personally like to get pepperoni, cheese, and sausage on my pizza. So that's what I did that night as well. And we get our pizza, and no joke, the sausage looked like flat out, like literally just flat, moldy pepperonis, honestly, is what it looked like. So it was disgusting, and it ended up being a joke for the entire trip, like, oh, we're going to Brooklyn Pizza to get pizza. And it's a pretty big deal joke that we still have today with each other, all joking about it. Every time we go to Myrtle Beach, we're like, oh, let's go get Brooklyn Pizza or whatever, just joking around. But that's still something that was a very big standout moment from that trip that also made it a little bit crazy. So a couple of days go by and nothing really crazy happened. You know, every time that I go on vacation, I end up meeting some people. You know, I feel like a lot of people do that. They meet people, they talk to people, they get to know some people, and that's really what happened to us that trip as well. We had like a little group of friends while we were there. Sorry about the alert that I just got in the background. So we would hang out with them most of the time, and that was a lot of fun. There was, I forget what night exactly this was on. I think we had 4 days left in the trip or something like that after this happened. So we finally get to the point where this is super crazy, right? So there's a night that we're down by the pool, and we're in the lazy river hanging out with our friends. We would jump back and forth from the lazy river to the pool, stuff like that. And basically what we would do when we go down to the pool is we would take one of the drawstring Nike bags, if you guys know what I'm talking about with that. We would take one of those down to the pool with us and throw our phones in it. And whatever else we really had on us at the time, like that night particularly, we had our phones. We had my friend's wallet because we had just finished going to dinner at the hotel. So he had his wallet so he could get some food. We had a football in it because right after that we went down to the beach to pass the football a little bit. And then we also had our sunglasses because around the time it was at sunset. So we throw all that stuff in the bag. We throw our shirts over it. We throw our towels over it. This bag is pretty much hidden. You had to watch us put all that in it to know what was actually in it. And to this day, this vacation has changed the way that I am about a lot of different things now, even just leaving stuff in like a classroom at school and whatnot. But so we're in the lazy river. We're in the pool. We're having a great time. Honestly, one of the best, nights of the vacation so far, just having a blast, with friends that we had just met there. And then it got to the point where the pool was actually closed for the night. So we get out, we go to dry off, we put on our shirts and stuff like that. And then I look down at the chair and I'm like, Luke, where is your bag? And we both had a very sudden moment of panic, like no joke, like straight panic. We had no idea where this bag was. The bag was completely gone. So the next step to that was, I was like, okay, we need to, first of all, obviously hotel keys were in the bag, phones were in the bag, stuff like that. I couldn't text my parents and be like, hey, open up the door, like we don't have our bag, whatever. So we immediately went to the front desk. We told them our bag had just got stolen and we don't have room keys. We don't know what to do. What's the next thing? What's the next step to do? So the first thing they did was first of all, they called the police. The police would end up showing up later on, and they gave us new room keys. So I told Luke to stay put in the place, and I actually ran upstairs to inform my parents about what had just happened. So I run upstairs, I unlock the door. I remember I was like in such a panic, in such a hurry. I forget what I was really grabbing while I was up there. I was grabbing something, but I don't remember. But I told them, I'm like, hey, meet us down at the front desk. Our stuff just got stolen. And yeah. So I bolt back down there. My parents get down there. My mom's a mess. She's crying. And by that point, when I got back down, the cop was there. Basically, all the cops did was just take our information about what was really stolen and stuff like that. As I said, it was 2 phones, a wallet that had like $200 to $300 in it, a football, and sunglasses. And the funny thing about the sunglasses were these were sunglasses that we had just bought because the day before that, I was out in the ocean passing a ball around with Luke and our friends that we had met that day, and they didn't warn me about a big wave that was coming, and I went under, and I lost my sunglasses in the ocean. So that's fun, and games and stuff like that. So then the cop actually asked the hotel for security camera footage down by the pool to see if they could find who did it and stuff like that. And of course, the hotel didn't have cameras working at the time in that area, and plus the lights weren't working in that area. It was very dark. So after all that was said, we actually went down to the pool area once again with the cop. The cop kind of did like a little walk around to see if he could find anything that was going on, and obviously he couldn't. We looked in the trash cans and everything just to see if we had any remains of the bag at all, like just anything, and it wasn't. So, we gave them our information, phone information and stuff like that, and obviously they had other stuff that they had to worry about, so most likely that was the end of that. Our stuff was gone forever, and my parents, after that, they both actually took a walk out on the beach to see if they could find the bag just laying around, because the cop is right. The thing that I think that they were more worried about taking was the wallet and getting the money out of it, and most likely after that, they probably ditched the bag somewhere. And they couldn't use our phones because my dad actually got online and disconnected both of our phones. Somehow he was able to do that, which is awesome. So they couldn't use our phones at all. They couldn't get on our phones. You basically deprogram the phone or something like that, and it was good. So they couldn't get any of our information from that. But it was honestly a crazy moment that we had just got our stuff stolen. That's the only time in my life that I've ever really had something like that happen to me. And to this day, like I said, I'm still very cautious about where I put stuff, where I leave stuff and stuff like that. But it almost turned into a little bit of a joke the rest of the trip, because for some reason after that, it was all about every time we would watch a TV commercial, there would be a phone on it, or every time we walk around, there's like phones for sale, or like phone repair shops and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, we don't even have a phone, so we can't worry about that. Or we went into a movie theater. Actually, at the time, the movie that we saw was 22 Jump Street when it came out. And we were asking what time it is. Like, we had to walk up to people and ask, hey, what time is it? Because we literally just got our stuff stolen and we don't have phones. Like, we're not joking. Like, this sucks, but it is what it is. So, the rest of the vacation went on. We ended up coming home. We both got new phones programmed and stuff like that. And to this day, we don't know what happened to the stuff. To this day, it's still kind of like a running joke. But, to this day, it's still the craziest vacation that I've ever had. And honestly, I don't know if anything can ever top it. I still think that, I've been on a ton of vacations in my life, and that's honestly the craziest vacation story that I have of any of them. And I think that it's an important lesson for everybody to learn out of it. Like, just because you're out of, town and stuff like that, and everybody's out having fun at vacation sites and stuff like that, you're always going to have the people that are going to ruin it for everybody, and that they're going to go out and basically try to ruin your vacation, and just so they can get satisfaction out of that, and it sucks, but there are people out there, and that's just happened to us, and we had a very crazy vacation. But the funny thing is even though that it was such a crazy vacation, it still went down in my mind as one of my favorite ones and one of my most memorable ones, just because of everything that had happened that whole night and that whole trip and stuff like that. So I wanted to share you guys that story to really begin this, just to remind you guys, don't get too comfortable in an area. Don't leave your stuff where it might get stolen, and overall, just don't take that stuff to the pool with you, because then it has no chance of getting stolen at all. So the next topic that I want to talk about is Fortnite, and I really don't want to talk about Fortnite in its entirety, like for Season 9 and stuff like that. I want to talk about its history and why it has blown up to what it is today. Like, if you think about it, you still have got Apex, you still have got, Call of Duty Blackout, you got Battlefield's 5 version of Battle Royale, but none of them match Fortnite, in my opinion. I still believe that Fortnite is the number one played game in the world as to date, ever since about Season 3 or 4. So I really want to talk about why I believe Fortnite is so popular and why I still play it and why it's popular for me, because I feel like that this is a big deal. Like, it's crazy that this game has blown up to the magnitude that it has, and there's like a couple of different reasons that I could come up with it, and honestly, like I said, it's just amazing that it's blown up to what it is. So reason number one that I think it has blown up is just because simply it's a free game. Anybody can download it for free, and they've done a great job at releasing it on different platforms. Like, you have it on PlayStation, you have it on PC, you have it on Xbox, you have it on Nintendo Switch, and now you also have it on mobile. So anywhere that like you have, pretty much somebody's got at least one of those that they could play Fortnite on. So Fortnite has blown up to that magnitude, and then, it moved on to the competitive side of things with having the Fortnite Pro-Am, with having all these, Fortnite competitions and stuff like that, and in-game competitions. Like, I mean, the fact that it's a free game and Epic Games is earning so much money from the item shop, like, honestly, it's amazing how much money that they have made on a free game. And it's honestly amazing that a free game has taken the world by storm, because if you think about it, you've got apps in an app store. Let's do that for an example. Or you even have games on PlayStation and Xbox, or maybe even Steam. I haven't done much research in the world of Steam, but you have these platforms that produce free games. They really do produce free games, but none of them have grown to the popularity of Fortnite. And honestly, I do believe that Apex Legends is free as well. And to be honest, I remember when everybody's like, oh, Apex is so much better, Apex is so much better, it's going to kill Fortnite. But I think Apex is still missing a key element that Fortnite has figured out, that keeps its players engaged in playing. Whether or not, we all want to admit it or not, we all still play Fortnite. And the thing is I personally, yes, I've gotten a little bit more burnt out on Fortnite as, the popularity has grown up, and now that there's more, like, I guess you could say, spam in the game in a way. But honestly, I do believe that Fortnite is still the number one game in the world. And I think that the big reason for it is the next thing that I really want to talk about, and that is the fact Fortnite is one of the only cross-platform battle royale games that there is out there today. And honestly, it makes it easier for content creators to play a cross-platform game. Take this in for example real quick. When Fortnite first released onto its many different consoles, me included, I actually had a couple different Epic Games accounts. I had my Xbox One, and then I had my PlayStation 4 account. My Xbox One is where I originally started getting battle passes on. Season 4 was my very first battle pass that I actually got. And sadly, all the skins that I had on my Xbox actually got lost when I linked my accounts, when I linked my PlayStation account to my Xbox account. So those skins I'll never get back again. But that's beside the point, because now my PlayStation account I feel like is actually completely loaded, and I've probably spent way too much money in the game. Fortnite, when they announced the whole cross-platform thing, the internet kind of blew up, because honestly, I feel like that the only really other big game right now that's doing it is Rocket League. And I think for me personally, as a content creator, as a Fortnite streamer and stuff like that, I think that it's amazing that they were able to do this. Because think about this. Honestly, I don't think Subscriber Saturday would be a thing if it wasn't cross-platform. Like, if I'm sitting here and talking to you guys honestly, I know for sure that there's a lot of the people that I play with that don't play on the same console as me. You got Sid, she plays on Xbox. You got Primitive, he plays on PC. You've got Trash Packer, he plays on PC. So like you've got this whole cross-platform thing going on, and I hope, like honestly hope that more games do this, because I think that honestly some games are missing out on a huge opportunity because of it. Like think about it. Apex Legends I don't believe is cross-platform. I think you have to play within the same platform. And they're missing a big market there that Fortnite has, where you can just jump into a Fortnite game and you can play cross-platform with anybody you really want. Like, as long as they're your Epic Games friend, you can play with them. And I think that that's awesome. I think Call of Duty misses out on this because, honestly, I think Blackout was a complete flop for Call of Duty. And it's just, I don't know. I think Fortnite, the way that they've done cross-platform, the way that their mechanics for the game is, I think that it's honestly good. I think, they're going to release more skins and stuff like that. And let's not even mention, let's not forget to mention, I should say, what they do for creators. They have supported creator codes where creators like me and like other people can actually earn money for, people using their code in the item shop. Granted, we don't have a supported creator code yet, but I do think that we're going to be getting one here very soon. So I'm super excited about that. And hopefully I get to see all of you guys using my code in the Fortnite item shop. That'd be awesome. That'd be such a dream come true right there. Just like a small step towards my dream, but honestly, it was a dream thing right there. But I don't know. Don't get me wrong. The Fortnite game has changed over time, and it's been kind of annoying to keep playing it. Honestly, not gonna lie. But the game is fun, and I can't deny that every time I get on Fortnite, I have somewhat of fun. Not more so with the game, but I have fun with the people that I play with. I have fun when I'm streaming and I can get you guys in on games and stuff like that. I think that that is a key element of Fortnite that not a lot of things have. And I think that they've got a lock on the market because of it right now. And I really hope, like I said earlier, that other game companies take into note about this. We just had Call of Duty Modern Warfare announced this week. Most likely it's probably not going to have cross-platform play because no Call of Duty game has had cross-platform play. And honestly, I think that, like I said, they're missing out on a huge opportunity here because people are going to want to play games for what they want to play for. That made no sense. People are going to want to play games for certain reasons, and I feel like that's one certain reason that I keep coming back to Fortnite. And I understand that some games are not going to be cross-platform because a company wants you to buy their system just for that specific game to play with your friends on that specific game. But let's be honest, Call of Duty is another game that releases on pretty much everything. I mean, we just had the announcement of Call of Duty Mobile, where I'm pretty sure you can actually play any of the Call of Duty games on your phone. You have got Call of Duty on Xbox and PlayStation and also on PC. So this is a widespread game. It's a big name, gaming community and stuff like that, the Call of Duty community, but they don't have cross-platform. And it baffles me in this day and age that they don't, because it's not an exclusive thing anymore. Like, Call of Duty is not exclusive. You can get it on any system that you own except for really the Switch. But you can get it. It's out there. And a lot of people do still get the Call of Duty games, for example. And honestly, they don't have cross-platform, and I think that they're really hurting themselves for it. This ended up becoming more of a cross-platform rant than really a Fortnite rant, so maybe we'll call this topic cross-platform, but I don't know. I think cross-platform gaming is the future, and I think we'll see it more as the PS5 and the new Xbox come out, I do believe. I think we'll see it more, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see what Epic Games does with Fortnite when the new consoles come out, because it's very popular on their console right now, or on this generation's console, but will Fortnite be popular on the next generation console? Because they're going to have to come out with ways that pushes Fortnite into different areas. And I think another thing that makes me very baffled about Fortnite's popularity is, think about it, when you jump into a game, it looks like that it could be a child's cartoon game, honestly, because of how cartoonish it is. It's not real life realistic like how Call of Duty is, for example. It's literally like a cartoonish game, because I can remember the first time that I jumped into a Fortnite game and I was like, why is this game so popular? Why is everybody asking me to play it? It looks like it's a child's cartoon game. And honestly, like I said, obviously the popularity has grown with me as well. But it's just amazing that a free game is able to blow up the way that it is. I mean, think about it. I can attribute that Fortnite has had a hand in killing other gaming communities. Like, I think Fortnite has got a huge hand in killing the Call of Duty Zombies community. Granted, I think Treyarch had a lot to do with it, with not having a big success with Black Ops 4. But I think that Fortnite has killed most of the Zombies community, because if you think about people like the Smith Plays and Mr. T-Lexify, for example, I know that both of them play Fortnite, and they both played Zombies at some point. But obviously, the Smith Plays moved on to just doing straight Fortnite videos, and I think that that's amazing. That Epic Games has found a way that it's literally killed off a whole community. And the thing that I really want to stress about Fortnite that's different than any other game that I've played and the popularity that it has is it's a free game. If you don't want to spend money on Fortnite, you don't have to. You can literally just jump into a game for free and play this game, whether it's on your phone and any other platform that you have. But I think that's amazing. And I think that that's why Fortnite's popularity has grown. Like, Call of Duty will never be free. Call of Duty, you'll never be able to be like, oh, look at this, I got the new Call of Duty for free or whatever. Because Call of Duty is a company, and it's just like, they're never going to release a game that's free. But, you got Epic Games, this small startup company, and now it's blown up to what it is today. So, I don't know. I think Epic Games' popularity with the game of Fortnite is amazing. I think that, there's a lot that I missed on in this topic to really talk about. But I really wanted to hit on why I think Fortnite is popular. And it's really because I think it's a free game. Like, I think that's got a lot to do with it. And I do think that cross-platform gaming has a lot to do with it. Because I'm going to be honest, if it didn't have cross-platform gaming, I probably wouldn't stream it as much as I do, because I wouldn't have the squad that I have, and then also I wouldn't be able to do like Subscriber Saturday and stuff like that. And that single-handedly gave me a start to a new series on the channel. So I don't know. I think Fortnite I think they were really smart about doing a cross-platform game for free. And, I know that was probably like the whole idea behind, I'm sure that when the game came out, they were thinking, okay, we're going to do this, but I can guarantee you they never thought that it was going to blow up to the magnitude that it is today. I guarantee they didn't think that they would make as much money as they have today on the game and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think Fortnite as a whole, it's like the game that you love to hate, honestly, but it's the game that you love to play at the same time for certain reasons. And I thought that I really should talk about it in this episode of this podcast. Alrighty, so the final topic that we're going to be talking about in this podcast is obviously GFuel. I think because GFuel takes such a big magnitude on my channel and is such a big part of my channel, I think that we have to find a spot always to talk about GFuel. So the first thing I really want to talk about GFuel is kind of like a news thing with GFuel. I'm not going to really talk much about news with GFuel in this. I want to talk about more of the GFuel community in this one. But I am going to talk about something that does affect us as the GFuel community and also just GFuel as a whole. So if you guys don't know, I don't know how you guys are missing out on this big opportunity with GFuel to get some free stuff, but GFuel does have a rewards program. And with that rewards program, once you get to a certain amount of XP spent, $1 equals 1 point of XP, I guess you could say. So there's different tiers of their XP system, and I think it's really good. Currently, I sit at the gold tier, which you have to unlock at 1,000 XP, and then you unlock exclusive things to actually redeem for free with your XP. So, you could get shaker cups with this. You could get starter kits with this. I think that it's really cool that they do this with the reward system and stuff like that. And if you get to the platinum tier, you actually do have a chance to get a year supply of GFuel for free. So I think that's really cool as well. But that's not what we're talking about right now with this. Why I wanted to bring this up is because there is 2 brand new rewards items. If you guys have not checked the rewards lately, I highly recommend you guys check it out because you guys might be able to get this if you are already at the silver tier. So with the release of Bahama Mama GFuel Roman Atwood GFuel flavor, they did release 2 new things as reward options. So for 300 XP at the silver tier, you you can unlock the Bahama Mama Collector's Pin. So this is going to be on the same lines as the Twisted Candy Pin, as the Cotton Candy Pin, stuff like that. So if you guys have already collected those pins with GFuel, this is probably a good thing for you guys to pick up. And then also they do have a Bahama Mama Dad hat. So both of the pins look like pretty much how the Shaker Cup does, just like a pink and blue colorway with it. The hat is completely black with the same, with the smiley face logo. With the same colorway that I just said. So I think they both look really cool. The hat is also in the silver tier, but you do have to have 500 XP to redeem it. So that's that. I did want to mention that real quick, just because I found that out yesterday. I'm filming this video, I believe, Thursday. So I found out on Wednesday yesterday that they did release that. And if you guys are still looking to get Roman Atwood's flavor, it's still not sold out at this time. The collector's box may be sold out by the weekend, by the time that I get this up on Sunday, but the actual flavor itself should still be there. So by this time, I hope that I've tried Bahama Mama. I know it's going to be here tomorrow for me, so I will have a video coming up this week on it. I don't believe that I'll have a video by, whatever day this podcast goes up. If I do, it's probably on Saturday, or maybe it went up today. Hopefully you guys have a Bahama Mama review either up or coming tomorrow or something like that, because I'm super excited to try it, because a lot of people have said that it's really good. So I cannot wait to get my hands on it and try it for myself. Now, after all that little update with GFuel, also the last little update that I do want to talk about is, and a lot of people have asked me in videos about the Winter White Shaker Cup and where you can pick it up at. Currently, it is the only Shaker Cup still available on GFuel's website. I believe that they restocked on it after the initial restock for it, because it's such a popular Shaker Cup. So if you guys do want to get a Winter White Shaker Cup, which is the Shaker Cup that I do in literally every single one of my GFuel videos here on the channel, I highly recommend you guys pick one up. I've actually considered maybe getting another one, just because of the fact that if I break a Winter White Shaker Cup, I'm going to be out of Winter White Shaker Cup. And honestly, by the time that I do want to get a new one, it's probably going to be out of stock. So honestly, huge opportunity for you guys to get a Winter White Shaker Cup. I think that it's the coolest Shaker Cup that you guys can have, other than the whiteboard Shaker Cup. So definitely go ahead and pick that up if you guys are interested in that. Now that we've talked about all that, I want to focus on our GFuel community. So honestly, I'm not trying to bash the GFuel community at all when I'm talking about these things, because I'm part of the GFuel community. You're part of the GFuel community. We're all part of this GFuel community that has really developed over the past couple years. So the thing that I really want to talk about with it is how amazing that there's a community for this. Like, honestly, we just talked about Fortnite and how the popularity of Fortnite has grown up. And now we're going to talk about GFuel and how amazing that there is a community for a drink. Because in a sense, that's all GFuel is in the end. It's a drink. It's a powder. You put it in water and you make a drink out of it, and it's basically an energy drink. So why is there so much popularity for it? And I think that GFuel's done a great job with promoting it, I guess you could say. I think us as YouTubers have done a great job of promoting it. GFuel is kind of getting some free advertisement for people who aren't sponsored by them. GFuel, I know you're watching this, you better sponsor me. Just kidding. I know that they're not watching this. But hopefully one day we do get a GFuel sponsorship on the channel. That would be pretty sweet. But yeah, honestly, it's amazing to think that, a drink has gotten the popularity that it does. And I think it's well-deserved. I do think that GFuel is a very good product. And obviously, I just told you guys I'm not sponsored by them. So, you can take my word for being honest. GFuel is a good product. You just got to find the flavor that you want, a flavor that hits your interest. But the thing is it's a free drink. It's not a free drink. The thing is the community is built around a drink. So honestly, I think that's amazing. I think one of the big reasons for it being as popular as it is the big name people that they have signed. Like, they have the entire FaZe clan signed with GFuel. Like, that's amazing. They have, Roman Atwood signed with GFuel, who's got 15 million subscribers. You've got the biggest YouTuber that has ever existed, PewDiePie, has got a GFuel sponsorship. And all of these people can go out and promote it. And it's amazing, honestly, in my opinion, the people that they've got. Because I think GFuel originally started as like a gaming thing, and then they saw the opportunity like, oh, we can promote this to more than just gamers. Because now you've got people like Roman Atwood, who does vlogs, who does GFuel now. You have got ASMR, YouTubers that are signed with GFuel. I believe it's GBASMR, and also Maddie Tingles is also signed with GFuel to do sponsorship deals and stuff like that. And like, people have gone out of their way, or GFuel really has gone out of their way of gaming and really tried to hit everybody in every market and just to show off their product. And I think that's amazing. I think that's awesome. We talk about it at my work, where I work all the time, about adapting to the times, and GFuel really has. I think that they've really changed their product for being a gaming energy drink to being a life energy drink. And that's kind of what I use it as, more so, is a life energy drink. And I think that that's awesome. I think that they've done amazing things with GFuel. And I think that it's amazing that there is a community for it. And I'm glad there's a community for it. I'm glad there's a popularity for it, because you guys are here watching videos on my channel because of it. And I really do. I think for the things that I just said, I think that's why GFuel is so popular, and there is a whole community about it now, is just because of the fact that there is a community for it, and I think that's amazing. So, and the fact that they actually get, big name YouTubers to be on their brand. So honestly, I think GFuel is awesome. I think that they've done amazing things. You guys already know how I feel about it, and I know I've kept these last two topics really short, but, topics don't really have to ramble on forever. I don't want to, seem like I'm rambling in this episode like how I did the last one. So that's going to be that. I'm really excited to see what GFuel pushes out over the next couple months, because we all know that there's going to be a big rush for GFuel flavors. We already know what the next month is going to be, the Type O GFuel flavor. I'm very excited to see what that's going to be, because I feel like that's very secretive of what the flavor profile is for it. So I'm excited to see what that's going to end up being like. But other than that, guys, that is going to be episode 2 of the RHG podcast. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, smash that like button down below. I got a huge, positive review on the first one that we did, so this will be a series that we constantly keep doing, and I do believe that these are going to be able to go up on Sundays, because I know that this one is going to go up on Sunday as well. But if you guys enjoyed the podcast, smash the like button down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos with GFuel Gaming, with podcasting, with other GFuel brands like Sneak, Rogue, and maybe we'll get a couple other ones in the future to try. I know that this podcast was a little bit shorter than the first one, but that's all right. That's a little bit easier for you guys. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.